Lewis Hamilton will be looking to boost his chances of F1 glory at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix this weekend. Lewis Hamilton and 3 other F1 drivers led the conversations when it came to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix going ahead, it has been claimed. An attack on a nearby oil depot has threatened to see the Formula One race called off. But that won't be happening, with things due to go ahead as normal. On Friday, Saudi's Aramco Jeddah oil depot was hit by a missile, sending thick, black smoke into the air in the process. It quickly emerged that the Grand Prix due to be held in Jeddah could be called off. However, since then, it's now clear it will go ahead. A significant number of drivers had concerns about the safety of the event following the attack, but in the end, were talked into competing after bosses had provided them with more information. Part of this reportedly involved the possible consequences of not racing and whether that would impact the speed at which they could leave the country. Now, Sky Sports' Craig Slater has claimed Hamilton was a leading voice in discussions that saw F1 bosses ultimately give the green light for the race to go ahead. And the Mercedes star wasn't the only one, with Carlos Sainz, Pierre Gasly and Mick Schumacher also leading the debate. "I know that Lewis Hamilton, Carlos Sainz, Pierre Gasly and the young Mick Schumacher were leading the debate," he said. "I can't say they have come to a unanimous decision that it should go ahead, but they have come to a joint decision that the race should carry on, and that's why we are where we are now. There would have been the potential for them to pull out, they have that influence. The race obviously couldn't go ahead without the drivers." Lewis Hamilton was very influential in the decision over the Australian Grand Prix not going ahead at the height of the COVID pandemic, so they do have that influence. There may be divergent views amongst the drivers, but it is going to go ahead. There is extra security around the track and at the hotels today. Hamilton has been in a defiant mood ahead of the Saudi Arabian GP, calling out state officials over their human rights record. The country's record on the matter has long been in the spotlight, even if they've made some advances in recent years. And Hamilton said, "Ultimately it is the responsibility of those in power to make the changes, and we're not really seeing enough. We need to see more." He added, "We try and do what we can, and it's important we try to educate ourselves, and with the little bit of difference we can try to make sure we are doing something. There is not a lot I can say that will make any difference. It's mind-blowing to hear the stories. I've heard there is a letter being sent to me from a 14-year-old on death row. When you're 14 you don't know what the hell you're doing in life. But we don't decide where we go to race. I think we do have an opportunity to try, we are duty-bound to try and do what we can while we're here." Other drivers, too, have been critical of Saudi's position on human rights. Hamilton's Mercedes teammate, George Russell, said, "It's clearly concerning to see what is going on in some of these places. But I do hope that racing in some of these countries can raise awareness and have an impact, and if we can look back in 30, 40 years' time and see that the sport has had a positive impact on society in some of the countries, then we should be incredibly proud of that." McLaren star Daniel Ricciardo added, "We're aware of some of the situations when we come here, we are informed. But by coming here we also have a chance to have some positive influence as opposed to not coming here. I know F1 is doing a lot, 40% of staff are females, 600 underprivileged kids are at the track today to be educated and inspired, we're at McLaren working with Corst, the first co-ed university here. So we can have a positive impact. We are still trying to do more."